this over with so I can go home and play my clarinet. Whoa!
Well, it's safe to say that adjusting to speedrunning in the demo has been going, well. Mizutsune is our biggest challenge with the few monsters in the Rise demo, and many of us, myself included, were taken aback by the makeover this thing got this generation's ultimate. Luckily for you, I've been hard at work, making my own observations and looking into some of the community speedruns from players way better than me, to see what makes our soapy kitsune tick. So let's get to it. I'm Symmetry, and here's a guide to Monster Hunter Rise's Mizutsune. To do some housekeeping, I'd like to take this guide in the same order as we would the hunt, so we'll start with the weapon. Please be aware that my experience of this fight extends mainly to Gunlance and Hammer, however I will try my best to be as considerate of other weapon types as possible, especially you poor bow users. Okay, weapon chosen, options adjusted, it's time for some gamer juice. Mizu has 3 possible spawns in single player, and 1 fixed spawn in multi. Ideally, you want the one at area 6, since it's the closest and friendliest area to throw down. However, if you aren't going for speedruns, be prepared to make your way to area 10 or 13 depending. In multiplayer, well, good luck. Mizu will always spawn at the furthest point in the map at 13, so expect a time loss there. If we assume the best spawn, there are 3 routes that I've been messing around with. The first 2 involve mounting the Palamute and managing your sprint boost accordingly. At the start, immediately mount up and eat a well done steak. After this, jump out of the camp. Bear left and boost all the way through area 4 towards the clearing for area 6. Just after this green bug here, jump off and wirebug up to a ledge as you see, and then great wirebug to the top. Up here, you can grab an additional wirebug and the puppet spider that allows you to instantly get a mount. Once you jump off, you can Spider-Man your way down to Mizutsune to engage. Here you start the fight with some endemic life, a free mount, and some extra bugs in the tank. The other alternative is to immediately hook a left before leaving camp. You can see this tunnel shortcut to area 2. The only difference here is that you stop at the top of the waterfall and grab the antidote brush sticking out of the ground. Now don't be fooled by its description. This funky snake dude doesn't just deal with poison, but also any other status condition. Meaning, not only can you dispel Bubble Blight with it, but you remain immune to it for what looks like between 4 to 5 whole minutes. It's very useful if you're frustrated by this unique status, and then from there you scale the cliff as normal and engage. The third option is one that I've seen make the rounds on Twitter recently, from Japanese hunter Yawara First. I'll link the tweet in the description below, but as you can see, it's pretty wirebug intensive, and gathers considerably more spirit birds and can be favourable for the eventual TA rules that we're going to see. Okay, with the housekeeping done, onto the fight. The weak spots to aim for are mostly the head and then the tail. Dealing enough damage to the head can also cause a topple, so you want to prioritize that firstly. Your notable attacks to look out for are the forward tail smack, the shotgun blast, the double bite, and what I call the dishwasher. Firstly, the forward tail smack is a fairly simple attack with minimal knockback. All weapons with shields can safely block or parry if the arts allow. If not, a simple roll to the left or to the right will suffice, and Mizu's head will return to pretty much the same position it started in afterwards, allowing you to snipe a few hits. Next up, the shotgun blast. Mizu stands still and charges up some water before blasting it in a narrow cone shape. If you want to use this as an opening, moving to the side whilst it's being charged will allow you to avoid the attack, and there's a short pause after the burst to get some damage in. Make sure that you compensate for the significant knockback that Mizu experiences and cover the distance in order to get a few hits in on the head. Right. On to the double bite. This attack sucks. No two ways about it. The hitbox extends to the arms and most of the midsection. Guard pointing the first bite lines you up for the second one. It has virtually no wind up, and really the only tell is that Mizu will often do a large bubble spreading jump to the side of you before it. I would just hold your shield, roll twice to either side, and just hope that it doesn't do it too often. Can you tell that I really hate this run ender of a move? Finally, the dishwasher. You'll hear a loud metallic thudding noise as Mizu jumps back and away from you. If in the air it doesn't fire a bubble halfway through the jump, run towards him as fast as you can. What will happen is the dishwasher will overshoot and you can circle back around to the head for the inevitable taunt afterwards. Right, that's the main attacks analysed. What else do we need to know? Enter the bubble break and the tell for leaving. Mizutsune, much like Zinogre, has its own aura, which is something I never thought I would say. At certain points throughout the fight, Mizu will cover itself in bubble, gaining a bright sheen and further augments to its mobility. It will slide wildly away from you during spins, drifts laterally during the water beam, and can very easily make mincemeat of unsuspecting hunters. However, you do get further benefits, as not only does Mizu take a larger amount of damage, but if you're brave enough, you can dispel this aura by attacking during the monster's own attacks. When this quote-unquote bubble break happens, Mizu will go flying away from you for another topple. It's worth noting that Mizu will apply this bubble buff most commonly after it enrages. Interestingly, the distance covered by the bubble break is pretty much the exact same as the ZL plus X wire bug move, so you've got a lovely gap closer there. You could also stack the usual head topple into the bubble break for huge amounts of extended downtime. Finally, how do you know when Mizu's about to leave? Simple, there's a double snap animation that it will do whilst it's stationary, and after this it will be scripted to leave either immediately or within a couple of moves. I've experienced it after about 5 minutes of fighting, and normally when this happens I try to shove down the aforementioned puppet spider to keep him in place and in the area for a longer amount of time. So there we are, that's a few observations I've been able to find from the Mizutsune fight in the Monster Hunter Rise demo. I really hope that this can help you to become more familiar with our old friend here, and can prepare you better for the full release. I'll see you all next time.